streets of Brooklyn, where stories grow wild, to the glow of the stage where the dream meets the child. A quiet flame, a hidden spark, drawn to the words that lit up the dark. Curtains rose and so did he, finding power in poetry. One voice, one mic, one sacred truth. Every word he spoke uncaged the youth. He saw the world try to silence the bold, but his soul was wired to break the mold. Now he walks in purpose, pure and true. He was born to speak.
Welcome to Born to Speak to You TV. I'm your host, Calvin Gibbs, and today's episode is called Mastering Happiness, Building a Life and Career That Sizzles. Now, before we meet today's guest, let me set the stage for you by asking a question. What if happiness isn't something that you stumble upon, but is something that you actually build? What if the secret to greater success, stronger relationships, and a more fulfilling career isn't working harder, but thinking differently? Well, in today's episode, we'll uncover practical strategies that can transform the way that you lead, communicate, and live life with purpose. You'll discover why some people thrive through life's challenges while others remain stuck. You'll walk away with unique perspectives and powerful tools to help you start changing your life immediately. So if you're ready to stop chasing happiness and start creating it, stay with us. This conversation just might change the way you think about success and yourself. Right here on Born to Speak to You TV. We'll be right back. Welcome to Born to Speak to You TV, where we're speaking life into the moments that matter. This isn't just a show. It's a movement. It's a space where stories are honored, voices are lifted, and truth has a mic. Each episode, we dive into powerful conversations on identity, on equity, growth, healing, leadership, and the courage that it takes to speak up in a world that often wants us to keep quiet. Whether it's through personal testimony, community impact, or artistic expression, Born to Speak to You is where voices rise and change begin. Our mission is simple: to empower people to use their voice, own their truth, and build bridges of communication and understanding. So, sit back or lean in, because you're about to witness what happens when passion meets purpose. This is Born to Speak to You TV. Let's speak life. And we are back. This is Born to Speak to You TV. I'm Calvin Gibbs, and today's guest believes that happiness is not just something you hope shows up. It's something that you can intentionally create, practice, and share. Marty Jalove is a speaker. He's a coach. He's a communication expert and the founder of Master Happiness. He helps individuals and organizations build stronger relationships, improve leadership, discover purpose, and bring more focus, fulfillment, and fun into their lives and careers. He's also the host of the radio show and podcast, Bacon Bits with Master Happiness, which proves that almost everything is better with a little bacon, including personal development. So get ready for insight, inspiration, practical advice, and probably a few laughs along the way too. Please help me welcome to Born to Speak to You TV, the master of happiness himself, Marty. Marty, welcome.
Wow. Calvin, I hope I can live up to that intro. Man, I was listening here. I was getting goosebumps. I was like, I want to hear this guy that you're introducing.
Well, you can hire me, take me on the road with you, man.
There you go. There you go. I might just do that. Hey, the other thing, Calvin, I got to thank you. I love your background with the palm trees. It goes great with my Hawaiian shirt.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
It all comes together. This is beautiful. Thank you so incredibly. Thank you so very much for having me on your show. I'm a big fan since the moment I met you many, many years ago. big fan of yours, and I'm happy with your success and excited to chat with you here live on your show.
Well, great, and thank you very much for being here, Marty. I like to say to my guests, let's just jump into the deep end
Let's
because
do
that's
it.
where the party's at. You ready to party?
I am ready to party. I'm always ready to jump in. Yep, you
All
got
right,
it.
all right, let's go. There's going to be different segments to this conversation. This one, the first segment, is the road to master happiness.
Okay.
And every great mission, as you know, Marty, it begins with a story, right? So,
Yeah.
what experiences led you to create master happiness?
Well, I'll tell you, it's a combination of the employees that I worked alongside, some employees that I led, working with small businesses, helping them grow, and probably even more so my own children. What happened was they all suffered from this Sunday night blues, where they were looking towards Monday with just pity and anguish, and they were like, I don't want to go to school tomorrow, I don't want to go to work tomorrow, I hate my job, whatever it was. They hated looking towards Monday. And I said, there's got to be a way to turn Mondays into fun days, right? There's got to be a way to do that because we spend so much time at school or at work. There's got to be a way to make it so that we look forward to it versus dreading it. And how it started was I said, what's your bacon? In other words, what is that thing that you're looking forward to tomorrow morning that is so exciting, so wonderful, the thing you promised yourself tomorrow that is so amazing that you almost can't sleep tonight? And I said, is there some way that I could link that to the Monday morning? All right. And for me, obviously, everyone knows me. I'm the bacon guy. I love bacon. I love to sizzle. Thank you. So I said, what if I promised myself that the only day of the week that I could have bacon is Monday mornings? Okay, so then Sunday night, all of a sudden, I was like, oh, tomorrow I get to have bacon. This is excellent. What a great way to start the day. So I tell people, children, adults, business owners, employees, etc., is find that one thing, find your inner bacon, that special thing about it that you promise yourself, limit it to just Mondays. All right. So this way you're starting to look forward to it so that the week becomes something that you praise, you look forward to, you anticipate it as opposed to shy away from it. So that's kind of how it started, that beginning. And it was like, how can I actually make a business out of it?
Okay. Well, I'm glad it's bacon and not pancakes or
Exactly.
French toast.
There you go.
What's your French toast, bud?
Yeah, there you go. And maybe your bacon is French toast. I get a lot of people, I ask them, what's your bacon? And they go, oh, it's bacon. I'm like, no. Don't take the easy way out. Don't just duplicate what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. What is the thing you're looking forward to? Maybe it's calling a relative. Okay. Maybe it's playing with your grandchildren. Maybe it's walking the dog, whatever it is. Find that thing you really love and see how you can target that. Give yourself some anticipation for it. So that you're looking forward to it. That's the big thing.
Absolutely. And by the way, I happen to love bacon.
All right.
I try to curtail it as I get older. But when we're on the road and we go somewhere to a buffet breakfast, that's when I pig out.
That's right. Well, I don't want to let the chef down, so I'm going to eat as much bacon as possible. If they're making it, I'm eating it, right? The important thing is sometimes people ask me, like, do you really eat that much bacon? And I say, yeah, I probably eat more bacon than most people. And I had a doctor who told me to cut down on it. And so I did the responsible thing in this. I found a new doctor. Okay.
Got you. Got you. So, Marty, new doctor.
That one was a little slow. I knew you'd get it eventually, Calvin. All right.
That's funny. Okay. Our next question is, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned about people over the years?
Wow. Okay. I like this. I think the biggest lesson is that people want to be happy, but they don't know how to get there. All right. That happiness is, I always say, is a muscle you've got to work out, but sometimes they don't know how to do this. And there's a comfort in staying angry. There's a comfort in being afraid and staying that way, or even sadness. There's a comfort there because I'm afraid that if I try, I might fail. If I try something, someone's going to look at me and laugh at me, and it's only going to get worse. And sometimes you just have to say, just do it. All right. Take care of yourself. before you help other people. Don't worry what other people are thinking, because chances are they're really not thinking of you anyway.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. And a lot of people
Yeah.
say they're happy, but they don't really know what happiness is. You
Right.
know, and it's something different to each person. I get that. But
Sure.
when you ask them, why are you so happy? They can't tell you,
Right.
but I'm
Right.
happy. But they
Yeah.
can't tell you why. So, Marty, we know people chase happiness.
Sure.
How do you define it?
You know what? It was interesting. On one of my shows a long time ago, I had a co-host, this woman named Tiffany, and she told me that she was content in life. And I remember live, I attacked her and I was like, no, don't be content. Look for more, look for more. And it was funny because over time, I went back and I said, you know what? Contentment is really one of the defining terms for happiness. Being content in life. How often have we just sat somewhere, sat in the lazy boy watching TV going, I feel content right now. We go out on a boat somewhere, just sitting there, not being bothered. I just feel content. So I think happiness is that combination of finding satisfaction in what we're doing,
Hmm.
understanding our meaning or our personal meaning, accomplishing something like that, but also just finding some contentment. All right. Just being able to say, this is cool. I can deal with the things that are stressing me out. I'm going to postpone those to later. I'm just going to enjoy the moment.
For right now, I am happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good. So, can someone be successful without really being happy?
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, yes. Uh,
Mm,
Now let's put it this way. Let's define success first. I have known plenty of people, CEOs of businesses, that seem to always be angry, okay, or always sad, like, oh, my people are letting me down. And they've grown successful businesses by creating fear.
mm,
Now, so they would, let's say they're successful financially, but internally, are they successful? No, no. I think you've got to define that success. I would much rather be a mediocre salary and being really happy and having reasons to laugh and smile every day, as opposed to being that billionaire who is always chasing the next $1 million, looking over my shoulder, who's crowding in on me, afraid to lose something, living a life of anxiety and stress. I don't want to live like that. I'd rather have a lot less, but a big smile on my face. So to answer success, I think you first got to define success. And the way I'm going
hmm.
to do it is I want to find a reason to smile every day.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go. And a few years ago, I think it was during or just after the pandemic, maybe
Yeah.
2022 or so, I had just started my business, Born to Speak to You,
Okay.
and I would go out every morning, and my mission was the first person that I saw, I ran into, what that wasn't my wife.
Right.
I would try to get them to smile.
There you go. I love it. I love it. You
I
got
would
to
try
do
to
that.
get them to smile, and
So go ahead.
and,
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
and sometimes it was a definitely a trial to get some
Sure.
people to smile.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I practically had to like throw myself down the aisle, to get them to even notice me. Uh,
Right.
but there's something fulfilling in not only enjoying your own happiness, but seeing
Yeah.
somebody else smile and they're feeling good, if only for that moment. Go ahead.
So what I was going to say was, it's similar. I started my business in 2020, March of 2020. I said, this is when I'm really going to start it. And of course, that's when COVID hit, right? So it's a great time to start a business. One of the things I did was the exact same thing you're saying, is how do I help people smile? We live in a world where everyone's locked up inside. Okay, so I would walk my dog around this area, and I'd walk the dog like 3 times a day. That was when I was like feeling a lot better, got a lot more exercise. Thank God for the dog. So what I did was, I want to see if I could bring a smile to these people, even though I can't see them. So I bought a series of inflatable costumes, and
Mm,
I would walk my dog 3 times a day, up to 3 miles each walk. So it was about 9 miles a day, walking through the neighborhoods in an inflatable unicorn costume, an inflatable dinosaur, all kinds of stuff. So they were like, here comes the dinosaur walking this dog, right? And the beauty of it was that I never knew if I was reaching someone. the joy I got out of it was I was attempting to make people happy, whether they saw me or not. I didn't see many people out on the street. The people I did see laughed, smiled, etc. But it wasn't until one day I walked my dog without the costume. I was like, I'm just tired of putting that on. It's hot in there, right? And I was walking the dog. A woman opened up her window and she goes, "You're not wearing a costume today. My kids are always running to the windows. I think the dinosaur is coming today," right? And I realized that the joy you get from what I call covert kindness, right? And that is the kindness you give to others without the ability to receive a thank you, okay, is the strongest type of kindness you can give. I like doing something for somebody and run away, leave before they have the opportunity to thank me, because that to me feels so much better. I'm doing it, giving them something, all right, that hopefully is making them happy, but I'm doing it for the right reasons. I'm doing it just to give them happiness. I'm not doing it so that they thank me, so that I receive something in return. That what I get in return comes from my heart.
That's right. That's right. And I believe that if someone wants more joy in life, that's a great place to start.
Yep.
With somebody else. I mean, not only.
Oh, yeah.
I think I heard a phrase one time: the fastest way to get a blessing is to be a blessing. Well, the fastest way to make somebody happy, the fastest way to make yourself happy is to make someone else happy.
There you go. I like the idea. Kindness, a smile, a laugh. You never run out of it, right? Mm-hmm. So why not keep giving it away? Mm-hmm. All right. I can always make more, right? I can smile all the time.
That's something I can afford.
Yeah, exactly.
So Marty, let's put a pin in it right now. We're going to have a short commercial break. Definitely. We'll be right back. This is Born to Speak to You TV. We're back. My guest today is Marty Jalove, and we're talking about building a life and career that sizzles, mastering happiness. So let's move to our next segment, Marty, and it is related to communication and the human connection. I know that you call yourself the master of human connection, and first of all, what does that actually mean?
Well, first off, I love giving myself titles. Okay, so
I see.
That's number one. But it's a combination of how important communication is. And I think, Calvin, you and I, we met at Toastmasters a long time ago. And
Right.
so I did a real deep dive into communication. It's more than just speaking. It's understanding how you're being heard, and also listening to other people. So this is communication goes so back and forth. And the idea of human connection here is the true understanding of what other people are going through. It transcends empathy. It's so much more than that. It's going out of my way to truly understand what somebody needs, to see if I can help them or if I can connect them with somebody, or sometimes all they need is somebody to sit there and listen to them. All right. It's a combination of pushing people together, or being that ear that they need, the answer that they need, the shoulder they need to lean on. Anything they need is connecting human to human, whether it's a child, an adult, a business owner, a customer, a sales agent, whatever it is. what is the connection? What are they trying to, how do they define success? What are they trying to accomplish? And let me see how I can help them solidify those connections.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you did mention Toastmasters.
Yeah.
And one thing that I've learned as a professional speaker and as an actor
Okay.
is creating that connection between myself and the audience.
How about it?
Whether
Right.
whether I'm delivering a keynote or whether I'm a character in a play, I need to make that connection. If I
Right.
can do that, then whatever I have to give to them, the network is open for them to hear it, receive it,
There you go.
and hopefully give me some love back. Because
Yeah.
from the stage, you need some love too. You need an applause or
Yeah.
somebody to
Yeah.
nod their head or something like that.
Right.
So,
What I was going to say was, I think one of the things that anyone who wants to go out and speak, and this could just even be a parent talking to a child, it could be an employee talking to their boss, it could be anything. One of us, like doing a keynote, standing up on stage. It's important to understand the difference. Am I talking at these people? Am I talking to these people? Or am I talking with these people? I think there's a lot of strength in that and understanding the difference. And I don't know about you, Calvin, because you're just a professional to every end, right? For me, I spent a lot of times talking at people, and I had to
mm,
learn to understand the difference of talking at versus talking with people. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, when I first started public speaking, I did just that. I would
Sure.
talk at people. I wasn't really communicating or speaking in my authentic voice. I
Right.
was
Right.
trying to emulate somebody else, and that totally did not work
Oh,
for me. I
you're not.
felt like a fish out of water until I learned to create my own style, be comfortable in my own skin. I know my message, and just let it go.
There you go. There you
I
go.
was going to ask you this question, but
Shoot.
I'm going to give my answer to it first, and then
Okay.
see what you feel about it.
All right.
What's one communication habit that everyone should develop? Now, my answer is, and you touched upon it, is to be a better listener. What
Okay.
say you?
All right. I was gonna say become a better listener, but I think it's got to be no, you're good. That's all right. So I'm gonna take it to the next step, and it is to make sure that the people I'm talking to are great listeners. So
Mm,
what I'm going to do is when I share a message with someone that hopefully is the answer to that they were seeking, I am going to make sure that they truly understand my answer. I'm going to repeat it back and say, so what did you think about that? Well, how does that speak to you? What does that help you create your next action? And listen to them. If they go, I don't know, because maybe they'll go, I don't know, or I didn't quite understand it. I know I've got to improve it. So it first starts with what you're saying, become a better listener, listen to what they need, provide the answer, and make sure that the way I said it to them was exactly the way they needed to hear it.
okay, great. Love that answer. Thank you
All
so much.
right.
I also have spent a lot of time in corporate America,
Okay.
working with different leaders, and I've come to realize that a lot of times they don't create environments where people genuinely feel heard.
Yeah.
You know, People want to communicate what they're feeling. They want to be able to
Sure.
contribute to the culture, to the organization. And a lot of times leaders create environments where people don't feel heard.
Right.
How can they go about creating that environment where people genuinely feel, okay, this is a good place for me to give my opinion?
Yeah, excellent. I love the question because you can see the little sign behind me. Your culture is hurting your business more than you think, and that's exactly what it is. Uh, I wrote a number of books, and so anyone can find me on Amazon. Just look for Marty Jalove. But anyway, one of the books I wrote recently was Beyond the Mission. And what it talks about is not just the mission statement and the vision statement. It's talking about the passion statement, telling people why I started this, why I, as the CEO or the founder, love this business. This is the passion. Then we talk about the vision, where we want to go. We talk about the mission, what we do on a daily basis. Then we talk about the evolution statement. In other words, how do we adjust when life throws obstacles our way? Then we get into the core values, our guardrails of like where we won't cross over. And finally, we have a deep discussion about our culture, our culture statement, how we treat each other. And I think between those 6 statements, breaking it down, and you can see it in my book, I ask you to quiz it a little bit and think about it. If the owner, the CEO, the founder can go through this and really write honestly, not just come up with statements that they want to hang on the wall and say, aren't those pretty? Look, in case customers come by, look, they'll read that and they'll think we're wonderful. No, it's got to be true from my heart. If you can do that, what you do is you guide your people to follow that, and people can then make decisions autonomously because they know where the company is going and how the company wants to act and react. Okay, too often what I get hired by these companies that come in, Marty, my employees are not happy. Can you help me out? And I start with the CEO and learn about their culture. And I'm like, they're just duplicating you. They're emulating what you're putting out there. If you're not happy, if you're angry, you're going to have all your people angry as well. If you're afraid, they're going to be afraid. If you're sad, they're going to be sad. It's when you are focused and you want to succeed, that's when your employees emulate you. And that's how you grow this company. Okay. That's the short version.
Great. That's a great answer. Great answer. Let's take a break right here. We have a message coming up from our sponsor. And when we come back, we're going to get more into the leadership that inspire leading with purpose. Okay, Marty? Right here on Born to Speak to You TV. We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor. We're back. This is Born to Speak to You TV. We're talking about mastering happiness, building a career and life that sizzles. With my guest, Marty. Marty, let's keep on the track of leadership that inspires. This next segment is called Leading with Purpose.
Okay.
Okay. Now, once upon a time, when I was in corporate America, it actually was my last job in corporate America, when I was trying to, just speak wherever I could and use those Toastmaster skills.
Yeah.
They offered me a chance to speak to the employees there in the cafeteria. And I said, they asked me what I want to speak on. I said, leadership. Let me speak on leadership. I'm a grunt here. I'm under your heel 8 hours a day, but I am a leader in Toastmasters. So let me speak about that. And you just said what you said in the last segment about leadership and employees emulating the bosses.
Right. The people above you. Sure.
We had a boss, we had a manager, top lady that would come in the morning into my department and say, "Good morning, B word."
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good morning, B word. And some people would nervously laugh. I thought it was so offensive.
Okay.
So when I had this opportunity to speak to the entire company, I took it. I took it. I didn't use any names. I wrote my script like 10 times, right? Because I didn't want
Right,
to.
right,
Didn't want to call anybody. I wanted them to say, "Did he just talk about me?" You
right,
know,
right.
I didn't want to put their names in it, but it's a responsibility of leaders to maintain that positive attitude,
Yep,
especially during difficult seasons in the company
right,
when stocks are going, the company stocks are going down, when we're losing business, when things are changing, when people are getting laid off. We
right.
need to hear that positivity from the leadership, and it didn't happen. So, how can leaders maintain or create that positivity during difficult seasons?
Okay, so going back to what I've talked about is this passion statement, and it's got to start from the top. But one of the shortcuts I would tell people, and when I work with companies, I tell them all the time, is let's go through all your employees, or at least your leadership time. Your leadership team. Let's go through them, and what I call it, it's these 3 Ps. And where do they fall in place? So there are these employees or leaders that fall into the first P, which is just paychecks. They're just there for the money. All right. And sometimes if you need to fill a space, maybe you're going to find somebody who's just after the paycheck, and that's okay. But understand that if they're only after the money, they're going to jump ship as soon as they find someone who's going to pay a little bit more and a little closer to their house, right? So that's the paycheck employee. The next is going to be the personal growth employee. That's the second P. This is the person who's trying to build themselves. They don't really care so much about the company. They might like the company and everything, but they want to see where they can grow, what they can do, how they can improve themselves. And maybe they view your company as a stepping stone to something greater. Lastly is the passion for the brand companies, or the passion for the company. These are the people who absolutely love where they're working, and they will do almost anything. They'll jump through fire to get it done, right? And I think it's important to understand that where these people fall in line, how they jump from maybe one to another, how they swim between two a little bit. And so it's important. The people who are paycheck employees, it's up to us as leaders to try to get them to become a personal growth person or a passion person. We've got to get them out of that so we'll keep them long term. The people who are personal growth, what we need to do is continue to give them opportunities to grow, give them the ability to turn into the best version of themselves, give them new challenges all the time. Because once the challenges dry up, they're like, I've outgrown this company. I can't learn anything else. I can't do anything else. So they're going to leave. Lastly is the passion people, right? The ones who truly love what they're doing. And this is a fragile relationship, because if you pull back the curtain, let's say, and they realize that the reality of the company is different than what they felt, and they think the desire, the voice, the vision of the company is heading down a direction that they felt was different than what they were told, you break their heart, right? And those are the people who leave. So it's really important for the top management, the owners, the CEO, is to truly set an honest vision, to truly talk about their passion, why they do this, why they love it, why they come in every day, and go through everything like I talked about, the mission, the vision, the passion statement, the evolution statement, etc. All of that, and train on that on a regular basis. And the owners, the CEOs, that top level, they have to look at their leadership team. Because if you've got a leader who is only after a paycheck, you can't expect superstars underneath that person, because they're going to emulate that level. If you've got a leader who's only after personal growth, like what's in it for me, they're the leaders who are going to whisper around the water cooler to their employees and saying, yeah, once I learn this, this, and this, I'm out of here. Those aren't the leaders you want. You, starting from the top, have to say, I've got a passion for it. You got to work with your leadership team, make sure they have a passion for it, and remind them and teach them, educate them on how to go to the next level, the frontline workers, and make sure they have a passion for the entire company to be a success. I'll tell you, one of the best companies I ever worked for was a long time ago. I worked for a company, IDN, and they went out of their way to make sure that everything I did, I could see they kept saying, you're helping our company grow. You are helping us grow. You're helping us grow. Unfortunately, I did get to a place where I was like, I'm married. I have young children. I have grown as far as I can. It's time for me to leave, They celebrated me leaving. They said, awesome. Thank you, Marty. You did everything so wonderful. And to this day, when I see how they've grown and gotten better, I go, I love this because I was a foundational member. I celebrate their victory as opposed to, yeah, I hate that company. They let me go. They didn't treat me right. No, I'll never do that. I look at them and go, thank goodness I was able to work there. I learned so much and I helped them. There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears of mine that are in the success of that company.
All right. And that's a great feeling, I'm sure.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes.
My talk in the cafeteria that day ended up, long story short, how happiness among the employees can be a competitive advantage for this organization.
Oh, you're taking words out of my mouth. There you go.
And man, you could hear a pin drop in there. Okay.
There you go.
And then I started looking to see who was turning red.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a couple of them that was taking it personal.
Calvin, have you ever heard the thing? It's called the blue hair theory. Okay. The blue hair theory. And what it is if I insult someone or do a dig, if I told you, oh, Calvin, you're so goofy, your hair is blue, I don't even know how you leave the house, you're not going to get insulted. You're not going to feel anything about it because you don't have blue hair, right? But if I hit on something, if I say something negative that you feel about yourself, suddenly you're going to take it some kind of way, right? You're going to get hit by it. If it's not true, it doesn't mean anything. But if you're insulted by it, if you take it wrong, maybe there's a little bit of truth in it.
Okay. Well, that's good to know because I believe there was a lot of truth in it.
Sure, right. There are a lot of people with blue hair in there, right? Sure.
And yeah. Well, long story short, they never asked me to speak in front of that group, that group again, which was cool because I was on my way out of there anyway. So, but yeah, it's important to lead with purpose. When you're leading people, you have to lead with purpose, maintain positivity, help your employees reconnect with purpose as well.
There you go. Sure.
And as you mentioned, have empathy. That is so important. So Marty, let's segue right into our next segment. You're going to love this one.
I can't wait.
Discovering your purpose or finding your bacon.
Yeah, there you
go. I know you're going to love that one. So you told us about what's your bacon philosophy. Why do so many people lose sight of their passion?
Okay, I like that. I think the thing is, first off, we've got to uncover or discover our passion, what it truly is. And I think we're misguided sometimes. The way that I start it with people, I ask them straight out, come up with a list of things that you think you're good at. I'm not saying you're the best in the world at, just name a couple things that you're good at. Okay. And it could be, I'm good at grilling. I'm good at public speaking. I'm good at drawing, whatever it is. Just come up with a list and don't worry about digging into it. Don't overthink it. Just what you're good at. Then come up with a list of things that bring you joy. Things that every time I do this, every time I see this, it brings me joy. It puts a smile on my face, right? Start coming up with a list and do them separately. Do one week, the next list the next week. Then when you got time, start comparing the two and see where there's overlap and try to find out why. Why am I good at this? And why does it bring me joy? What's going on here? Because if you're good at something that brings you joy, subconsciously you're spending time at it. It's important to you. And that is the beginning, the essence of really your true passion. Okay. When I was younger, I used to draw all the time. I mean, this cute little pig, Bacon the pig here. I drew that. That's my character. People are like, oh, you should draw all the time. You should be a cartoonist. But I suddenly was like, I like drawing for certain reasons. I like drawing to understand more. When I was younger, I liked to draw for entertainment, but I kind of lost that. So I go, that's not my real passion. I started writing and I love writing, but sometimes the writing's not my real passion. I love speaking. I love getting in front of people and seeing the aha moment. You know what that's like, Calvin, when you're talking and you just suddenly see the jaws drop in your audience and they're like, oh, I get it, right? That to me just lights me up on the inside. Okay. I love learning stuff. I'm always listening to audiobooks constantly. You almost, I'm surprised I'm not wearing earphones and listening to something while I'm talking to you, you know, but I love learning stuff. And then the best way to learn it is to share it with other people. Right. So the learning stuff is a part of my passion, and going out and talking to people and teaching them and showing them a way to harness what I learned. Man, if I could do that all day long, you couldn't wipe the smile off my face. Yep. So I think people need to understand what already brings them joy and what they love doing. And to answer your question, why do people lose their way? Is because usually they chase the dollar, right? And they go, oh, but this place will pay me more money to do something I hate, versus this company will pay me a little less, but I'll love the job, right? And I think that's one of the big things is I need the money because I want to buy a cool car. I need the money because I want to buy a bigger house. I need the money for this. I need the money for this. And you got to say, no, what you really need is to find that happiness. And that's what we talked about earlier is what's my passion? What is contentment, right? What is satisfaction? All those kind of things combined. And that is not more and more money. Nobody on their deathbed said, I wish I just made a little bit more money. I wish I spent more time at the office. No one ever says that.
Amen. Amen. You know, there was a period of my life that I thought that chasing the dollar was the way to go. Yeah. Right out of college, I worked on Wall Street for, 15 years or so.
Okay.
Chasing the dollar, making a great salary, but I wasn't happy.
No,
I wasn't happy. There was no creativity in what I was doing.
Right.
When I finally left the business side of things and got more into the creativity, working in theater, Toastmasters, public speaking, that's when I became happy again.
Right.
That's when I could be Calvin,
Nice.
8 hours a day, and it felt so much better. And I think I did a better job. Didn't pay as much, of course, but as you said, it's not always about the money.
No, I'll tell you, one of the things is when people tell me, oh, but I want to make more money. Like I want to do this. I was like, hold on, you want to make more money? Go to school and become a brain surgeon. Okay. You can make all kinds of money. And they're like, oh, I'm not going to go to school that long. Why? Oh, because you don't like it. But I thought money was the most important thing. Right. And then vice versa. They're like, yeah, but you need to make that money in order to be happy. I'm like, no, because again, go to a hospital. Look at all the volunteers, all the people who volunteer their time, how happy they are because they found something that they do. They find something that gives them purpose. They find something that gives them notoriety, and they get no money whatsoever. So happiness and money do not tie together.
Exactly right. Or, make as much money as you can, give it a certain time period that you're going to do that, invest it, and then go be happy. Go do something else.
Exactly. Right. There you go.
It works. I wonder how I know that, but it works. Anyway, Marty, let's take a little break right here. We'll be right back. This is Born to Speak to You TV. This is Calvin Gibbs, and this is the segment we like to call Born to Rise. I'd rather have an enemy who admits they hate me instead of a friend who secretly puts me down. Yes, I would rather have somebody that says, Calvin, I do not like you, because I know where that person's coming from. They're being honest. They're being truthful. I know which category to put them in. But when you have a friend who secretly puts you down behind your back, say they got your back when they're talking to you, facing you, and then secretly behind your back, they're talking about you, they're laughing at you, they're hoping you don't be successful. Now, give me the enemy. Give me the enemy any day that admits that they hate my guts instead of a friend, or what I perceive to be a friend, who secretly puts me down. That's your tip for today. This is Born to Rise, and I'm Calvin Gibbs. This is Born to Speak to You TV.
TV. From the streets of Brooklyn, where stories grow wild, to the glow of the stage where the dream meets the child. A quiet flame, a hidden spark, drawn to the words that lit up the dark.
We're back. This is Born to Speak to You TV. Our segment today, our episode is called Mastering Happiness, Building a Life and Career That Sizzles, with my guest, Marty Jalove. Marty, I want to just go back to our last segment, Discovering Your Purpose. I have one more, not a question, but a statement I wanted to add to that, Finding Your Bacon. You mentioned about why. I know we talk, especially like in Toastmasters, when people get burnt out or don't want to continue, we tell them to go back and rediscover, reconnect with the reason why you joined. A lot of times people have to go back to reconnect with the reason why they started something. They were happy when they started it. They were all in when they started it. And it may not be money all the time. It may be something else that, got them off that path. But go back to the roots. Go back to the beginning. Go back to the why.
Love it.
Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I agree with you that every once in a while we do get lost. And I think that's going to go back to what I was talking about, is having a set of core values. Okay. Like Calvin, I don't know if on your show you have a set of core values to say, these are the guardrails. This is what I promise my people. This is the places we won't cross. For Master Happiness, my company, I created my core values that include, there's 5, but I'll just give you the short list. Includes creativity. I'm always going to do something out of the ordinary, a little different. Empathy. I'm going to try to put myself in my customer's shoes. And integrity. That's just 3 of them. Integrity is this whole idea that I will not cross that line. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be honest to a fault with you, because it's the only way, because I expect the same thing back from the people I work with. So I think every once in a while we start going down a tangent. And as a business owner, I remember the first time working with somebody, a company that I was doing really well with them, but they crossed those lines and they asked me to cross those lines. And I had that moment where I said, do I go for the money or for the integrity of my name? And I had to call them and saying, we have to cut this off. We can't be business. We can't do business together. I didn't give them any correction or anything, because that's the way they want to run the business. I just said, it's not working for me. I gave them some names of some other coaches and left it. They even offered me more money. They were like, I like working with you. Here's more money. I'm like, nope, it's not about the money. It's about, I have a certain direction I'm heading in, and I've got to stay the course. Right. So I think we all stray sometimes, and it's important to have something in writing that we can go back to and look and say, does this fit? Is this who I am? So I'm going to do that little shameless plug. I grabbed the copy. That's the book, Beyond the Mission. And every book I do, I put a beautiful picture of me, because I'm just too darn good looking. All right.
Of course. Who can blame you for that?
That's right. But I think it's important for us, when we start to stray, is to remember why we started, what we were after, what are we trying to shoot for? We understand goals change sometimes, but do it intentionally. Don't do it accidentally. Okay. So go back. Why did I start this whole thing? Am I still on the same path? Right. Be honest with yourself.
All right. Well, Marty, our next segment is Living a Life That Matters, Speaking Life. Yeah. What legacy do you hope to leave?
Oh, wow. Legacy, I'll tell you, is something that's so strong, so deep. Like, I just joked about my picture on the cover of the book, right? My business card has my face on it and stuff. And so part of me just wants to be remembered, right? Part of me is just, I know I'm going to die one day, right? We're all going to die one day, but I want to be remembered 100 years from now. I'm also smart enough, intelligent enough to go, I'm probably not going to be remembered. They won't remember Marty Jalove, right? My children are going to live on. I hope that they tell stories. Okay. My dad, Calvin, died 40 years ago. And every year since he died, my brothers and I, my sons, my nephews, just the guys, we get together and we have like a camp out, or we do something together in memory of him. And so many of them never even met my dad because they're younger than 40, right? But we carry on the legacy of my father. And I think part of the reason I really push for it is because if my father can live forever, then I can live forever, right?
There you go.
So I'm hoping when we talk about life and speaking about life and legacy, I have come to the idea that I want some of my ideas to live on. I hope that 100 years from now, someone might quote something. Someone one day might go, "Hey, what's your bacon?" They won't remember where it came from, but they'll use it as a little energy boost to move forward. All right. All the little quick sayings I come up with, maybe one day they'll look upon those and go, "Hey, yeah, this is how we run our company. This is what we do. We have these 6 statements, right? This is what we do." And maybe they won't remember who wrote it, but it'll help them and help their employees, help their children, help their friends, whatever. That's what I think is the legacy I want. And I think if everyone can really face that and say, I just want the ideas I had, the thoughts, I want that to carry on. I want to make the world a better place. When I leave, I want it to be just a little bit better.
There you go. There you go. Thank you for that. Thank you
Sure.
for that. I agree with you. I share that with you. If I could just make it a little bit better
Good.
than when I came in here, job done.
There you
Marty,
go.
let's play a game.
Let's do it.
30 seconds to speak
Okay.
life. This is our lightning round. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Are you a morning person or a night owl?
I am a night owl.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
All right. Favorite motivational quote?
Wow. Is going to be a quote I wrote, which is perfection is the direction, growth is the goal.
Okay. Pancakes or French toast?
Oh, always pancakes.
Bacon or sausage?
Let me think about that. It's going to be bacon. Yeah.
What?
Don't even say sausage.
Okay. One habit you never skip?
One habit I never skip, telling my wife I love her.
Okay. Love that. Love that. If happiness had a soundtrack, what song would be on it?
Oh, wow. That's an awesome one. I'm going to go back with one of my favorites. I'm going to go right now. I'm going to change it later, but I'm going to go with Bare Necessities by Baloo the Bear from the original Jungle Book classic animated cartoon.
Okay. Okay. I wish I had known that earlier to cue it up, but
That's all right.
but I'll look it up later. Okay.
All right.
Now, our last question, Marty. What does speak life into the moments that matter mean to you?
Speak life into the moments that matter is, I think, remember we talked about why. That's the whole idea where you talked about getting back to your why. I'm going to flip it and say sometimes we ask the wrong question. We ask why so often. And I think every once in a while we need to ask why not. Okay. And sometimes what happens is life is going to give us a lousy day. It's raining outside, right? My car's not working. I got splashed on the way to work. I lost my job. I can't afford the thing I want. Life's going to give us all that. And it's going to give us a lot of reasons to say, why go on? Why go on? And I ask the question, why not? Why not? Concentrate on what we're grateful for. Okay. Concentrate on the opportunities we have ahead of us and just keep saying, why not? Why not just have a great day? I don't care what the world gives us. Why not?
I love it. I love it. Well, Marty, thank you so much for being my guest today.
All right. Calvin, one last thing I want to tell you. You know what's really exciting? This is season 3, episode 9 of your show.
Yes.
And my birthday is 3/9. So
All
it was
right.
perfect. It was
All
awesome.
right.
Thank you.
It was meant to be. It was meant
That's
to
it.
be.
That's it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So, Marty, thank you again for being my guest today. I've had a ball with you, man. Please don't be a stranger. I'm
My
looking
pleasure
forward to
completely.
being on your show upcoming very soon. If you want to reach
Got it.
Marty, you can meet him. The website address is on the screen. www.masterhappiness.com. All right.
There you
And
go.
Marty,
Thank you.
I'll see you around the district.
You got it. Take
All right.
care.
Thank
Take
you
care. Nothing
again.
but love, Calvin, and thank you, Barbara.
All right. And we'll have a short message and we'll be right back to close up. Welcome back. Before we close up, I want to thank our incredible guests for being here today, sharing their story, their wisdom, and experience with us on today. If this conversation inspired you, encouraged you, or challenged you to maybe think a little differently, be sure to subscribe to the Born to Speak to You YouTube channel by scanning the QR code on the screen or visit the channel page where you can subscribe, like, and share this episode and all future and past episodes as well with someone who needs to hear the message. And leave a comment to let us know what resonated with you the most. We love to hear your thoughts and continue the conversation. And if you have a story that can inspire others, we love to hear from you too. So reach out to me personally at borntospeaktoyou@gmail.com. The twos are the number 2 because everyone has a voice. Everyone has a story and the power to make a difference. I'd like to give a special thank you to DFN Broadcast Studios for providing the opportunity to bring these meaningful conversations to audiences everywhere. So we'll see you next time for another conversation that will help inspire you to live boldly, lead intentionally, and speak life every step of the way. And remember, your voice has power. Your story has purpose. So keep speaking life into the moments that matter. Well, that's about all, y'all, for this episode of Born to Speak to You TV. I'm your man, Calvin Gibbs, and as always in parting, I say we take 2 steps to the rear and get on out of here. Until next time, exit stage left.
Of Brooklyn, where stories grow wild, to the glow of the stage where the dream meets the child. A quiet flame, a hidden spark, drawn to the words that lit up the dark. Curtains rose and so did he, finding power in poetry. One voice, one mic, one sacred truth. Every word he spoke uncaged the youth. He saw the world try to silence the bold, but his soul was wired to break the mold. Now he walks in purpose, pure and true. He was born to speak to you. He's got that rhythm in his truth, that fire in his flow. Speaking life into the moment, watch it grow. Every phrase, every beat, a breakthrough cue. Yeah, he was born to speak to you.